Veterans Day will be yesterday and the holiday will be marked tomorrow. It's a day to honor those who served our country. For families who lost a military member in the service of our country, it's a very difficult day. I sat down with the parents of Army Captain Andrew Pedersen Keel, who was killed in Afghanistan in the War on Terror in 2013. And joining me now, Helen Pedersen Kaiser and Bob Pedersen Kaiser, Andrew Pedersen Keel's parents. And we thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis.
It's been 10 years since Captain Pedersen Keel made the ultimate sacrifice, and you created a foundation in his name, APK Charities, which has raised so much money and helped so many people. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from the foundation?
It's a good question, and I hadn't really ever been asked it, but I'm beginning to understand that it is staying involved and not isolating ourselves and our grief, but reaching out first to other soldiers that were in Andrew's team, and then finally to Gold Star mothers, and then more finally to Connecticut veterans.
It's remarkable just how your circle has grown exponentially every year through the foundation, because I've met so many people, friends of Andrew and friends of yours, and just supporters.
Right. It really has grown exponentially. We started out very slow, very small, and in the last year, we've helped, actually last 2 years, we've helped over 95 veterans here in Connecticut, you know, financially that were in trouble.
What's next for the foundation? Because I know you'd like to step back a little bit.
Right.
If we had our way, we would get an executive director that would help us carry it on into the future years. It's such an excellent concept and such an excellent execution of people's money. We have really been entrusted and been honest about every dollar that we've been given to facilitate the lives of veterans who have come upon hard times.
But it's a lot of work a foundation can be.
Yeah, it is.
We could use some help.
So if anyone's watching, someone wants to be an executive director, because it's all volunteers, correct?
Yes, it's all volunteer board, and
Same board for 10 years.
And we've really unlocked Pandora's box in a way by providing help. And we are getting requests constantly, and not only that, but we're outfitting, we've outfitted apartments for homeless veterans that have transitioned into permanent housing.
With the help of Columbus House.
With the help of Columbus House and the VA and the Connecticut Veterans Legal Center. It's just, we can't stop, Dennis, you know, at this point.
What do you think Andrew would think of all of this?
He'd say,
great.
Good, Mom.
Yeah, you did a good job.
You did good.
Yeah.
Does he guide you or send you messages, do you think?
Especially on race day, I especially feel his energy. Yeah, but he never leaves my side, our side. He's constantly in the front of our minds.
Yeah, his friends really are remarkable.
Right.
Including the ones who were with him in Afghanistan.
You're right, and his classmates from West Point, we saw over the weekend. It brings it all back to us. It's right there in front of us now, you know, every day.
If people see a veteran, what should they say?
Thank you for your service is the beginning.
Right.
A salute. I always salute soldiers. It's easy. and they get it.
And so many of them want to talk about their service.
Yes, they do. And but you know what? You know, veterans, you know, most recently, most of them are volunteers. You know, they weren't drafted.
They're all volunteers.
Yeah, well, so, you know, during the Vietnam era, of course, they were drafted. But, you know, but since, you know, more recently, these are all volunteers that have given themselves to the military. It's less than 1% of the American population who has volunteered to be, you know, be in the service.
Last month I interviewed Katie Hamsey, who lost her husband, the Bristol police, you know, one of the Bristol police officers, and she said, you know, grief never goes away.
It's true.
But it changes a little bit. How has it changed for you over the 10 years?
I'm so tired of missing him. It's very acute, and then it softens, and then it's always with you.
That'll hit you all of a sudden. You'll go through, kind of, as Helen said, kind of a softening period, and then something will happen, something will like spark a memory. Like today, I was talking to a classmate of Andrew's. I was leaving a message for him, and I all of a sudden started, I started to break up talking, and it just hit me all of a sudden, and
It's just a long time to miss someone.
Right.
It's just a very long time to grieve. Silently, privately, personally. It's just something that you strengthen yourself to carry.
Well, we think of you often, and I know that a lot of people really are very inspired by you, Helen and Bob, so we wish you the very best, and we encourage you to support APK Charities, and we hope that it lives on, because I know that there are a lot of people who will miss it.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's going to
thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you.
We thank you for watching today. We leave you with some great music from a veterans group in the 102nd, led by lead singer Michael Moratko. Have a great day, everybody.